What's up, everybody? It's the Common Sense Investor coming at you with another video. And in this video, people, I'm going to tell you now how we hurt the New York Stock Exchange, okay? Now, as you know, if you've been following my videos, we've made the haters bow down. They won't come right out and say, well, CSI's right. His claim is pretty fucking solid against the New York Stock Exchange. They don't have absolute immunity. See, they'll tell you now, well, they don't have absolute immunity if they're operating outside of the, yeah, bitch, but y'all said they had it. And I was right. So now I'm going to tell you how to hurt them, all right? You got to understand, if I'm right about the argument, people, please listen to me about what the relief is going to be, all right? Because you're going to disagree with me kind of off the bat, but if you think about it, you're going to understand what's going on because you'll see the bigger picture. Ken Griffin and Gary Gensler hate each other. It's a vehement fight between the two of them. Ken Griffin thinks he runs that fucking stock market, and it's always been Gary Gensler's wish to put him in his fucking place. Now, I've told y'all how Ken Griffin's run his mouth about Gary and humiliated him, and shit's coming Ken's way, all right? Gary Gensler's just having a hard time figuring out how's the best way to get to this motherfucker. I got the answer for you, Gary. Listen up. I got through looking over my argument, and I'm totally convinced 100% that it's winnable, so I'm through with that. But I get down to the next part, which is the relief. What am I going to ask for? Because every complaint has to have a relief desired. And so I was laying back meditating, and I'm thinking to myself, how much money? We could bang them up for about $50 more billion. That'd be a total of $100 billion we're getting from two of them right there. But I got a feeling that wasn't the direction we needed to go. And as I thought about it, and I said, well, how much money? And I thought to myself, it's not about the money. Not when we're facing off with the New York Stock Exchange, okay? If you're going to hurt the New York Stock Exchange, you have to hurt them somewhere other than their pocket, all right? And that's where strategy starts coming in. And I've told y'all what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on them to finish with the lawsuit that they've got against Virtue. And the moment that Virtue says, okay, we settle, that's the New York Stock Exchange's ass. Okay, that's our end in attacking the New York Stock Exchange. But how do we hurt them? The hurt comes in our relief. And we're going to ask the court if they would put in place a consent decree that from right then, for 36 months, the New York Stock Exchange shall fall under the jurisdiction of the SEC. Now, you saying, well, it already does. No, it doesn't. All right. The New York Stock Exchange is governed by the New York Stock Exchange. They're the first line of defense. And when the first line of defense is sitting around like this fucking administration's doing about our border, then the people have a right to complain. And we complain to the courts, and we tell the courts enough is enough with what's going on in the New York Stock Exchange. All right? Because of the pattern that's been set by Citadel and Virtue and the rest. In the SEC having to step in because the first line of defense doesn't do its job, the second line of defense does. So how do we fix this? We make the first line of defense sit their ass in the corner, all right, and it gets turned over to the SEC, the New York Stock Exchange does, all right, for 36 months. And whatever the SEC finds that's inappropriate, that's your asses. And it gets fixed like that. Now, you think that the SEC wouldn't take advantage of that? Are you fucking crazy? That is the number one thing that the New York Stock Exchange does not want. They will pay a fine. If we sued them and we asked for $20 billion, they would do that just so we wouldn't ask for a consent decree, which would remove their SRO status completely for 36 months and go underneath Gary Gensler's fucking ass, and then we'll see what he can do then, because he's got the rules. He's got them in place. He's trying to enforce them. But they're fighting him in court. Best way to end that shit, Gary? Consent decree, motherfucker. Since y'all won't do your jobs, we're going to have to do it for you for 36 months. How do I know all this? Because in our prison system here in Louisiana, we went under a consent decree. The prison systems couldn't get their shit together. They was being sued by so many people so many times so fast that the feds finally said, what the fuck is going on down there in Louisiana? And when they came and investigated our prison system, they said, oh no, sit y'all's ass to the side. And they took over. And they got the prison system running back the way it's supposed to. And then after, it was a long time before Louisiana could get control of their prisons again. Same thing with the New York Stock Exchange. Bitches, y'all won't stop the corruption. It's time for you to sit your asses to the side. SEC, handle your business. Get them. Get them, Gary. Get them. So that's where I'm going with this. That's where I think is the best strategy. And we might not even have to fire the bullet, because if word gets to the SEC that they can fucking put into the court and say we need a consent decree against the New York Stock Exchange, they will get it. And he can do what he wants to right now. So with that, y'all just give it some thought. Love y'all. Be blessed. I'm writing another book. It's called Avalanche of Secrets. It's about the Alaskan Triangle. If you made it this far, Google Alaskan Triangle and you'll know what the next book's going to be about. Love y'all. Be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video.